All right, welcome back. Okay, so this week we reviewed Weird, the Al Yankovic story on Roku for free if you want to watch. Directed by Eric Apple, starring Daniel Radcliffe, Rainn Wilson, Evan Rachel Wood, and those also quite a few cameos in this movie. All right, quick synopsis.
Pee Wee Herman.
Let's get down to business. The synopsis really lays the law on it. The unexaggerated true story about the greatest musician of our time from a conventional upbringing where playing the accordion was a sin, Weird Al Yankovic rebels and makes his dream of changing the worlds to world-renowned songs come true. His words to world-renowned songs. An instant success and sex symbol, Al lives an excessive lifestyle and pursues an infamous romance that nearly destroys him. And that, ladies and gentlemen, quite literally explains the movie and its whole vibe in its entirety. Where do you want to start? Quick non-spoiler. Just give initial thoughts.
This might be the funniest fucking movie I've seen all year.
I wouldn't go that far, but it is.
What movie have you seen that's funnier? A Bad Trip by Eric Andre?
Yes.
Can't
blame us.
But I don't know. Yeah, I'm not gonna say it's the funniest, but it was definitely pretty hilarious.
The satire was literally top tier.
Yeah, it was the satire. It was the funniest part was that I didn't expect the satire, so I came into this thinking it was a normal movie, and then it took me the first one or two times of being like, "Nah, this isn't right. No, this isn't right." Then like the third time, I was like, "Okay."
It's either right or it's really bad.
Yeah, shit was bonkers. You could tell this was a Weird Al movie. On God, you just had to hear what it was.
The best part.
Just know it's.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go bitch.
I was just gonna say the best part is the marketing made it seem like it was gonna be real serious, but it was just like, satire, a parody. I was surprised, or not surprised, but like Al was heavily involved in it. Like he wrote the whole entire screenplay, which absolutely makes sense. Yeah,
that's cool. I like that.
It's a fun movie. It's a great way to tell a biopic. I think it really encapsulates like who he was.
Right.
And who he still is.
Who he is, yeah.
Clearly.
I love his sense of humor. I think
it's so funny.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
It was a little outrageous, but yes.
Oh, zany.
I would recommend.
I would as well. And it's weird recommending a Roku original, but...
Right.
Out of all the places, why Roku?
I feel like most people have Roku.
Yeah, but like out of all places to promote it, why Roku? That's why a lot of people haven't tuned in. Because out of all the streaming, it's on Roku. At least it's free. But that's it. If you want to watch it and don't want spoilers, leave right now. Just leave. Just get out of here. Scram. Check out our merch.
Yeah.
My favorite part was
in the description.
My favorite part was when Madonna pulled up with an AK-47 and shot him on stage. You see, normally that would be an outrageous statement by me, but this time it wasn't.
Actually, I was quite literally about to say that happened. You what?
I said I actually had to think about that for a second.
Like, yeah, so did I. I was like, wait, hold on a minute.
So we start with cons?
Yeah, do you have any cons?
Yes.
I do. And it's hard. Okay, I know the point of the movie was to be... It was satire, right? It wasn't supposed to be very serious. But I think a con for me is I couldn't tell which parts were true and which parts were supposed to be serious. You know what I mean? Like, I wish I could have known a little bit more, like, what parts of the story were actually maybe not even true, but based on something true. You know what I mean? But, like, some of the stuff I couldn't even tell. Like, I looked up the thing with Madonna, and he never had anything with Madonna. So that means that entire...
Well, obviously.
I mean, well, yeah, but that means that entire storyline was like...
Anthony's
what
just mad
about
that
it
it's
is true?
not a
You know what I mean?
biography.
Oh, but it's very loose though. Like no, you're right. There's stuff that you can tell is like really parody. Like it's super over exaggerated. You
Uh-huh.
can just
Mhm.
totally tell. But like stuff like the salesman giving him the accordion, that was real. Like that happened. Like he got an accordion from a
But
salesman.
my problem is, how do I know that? How do I know which ones are true?
The movie's not supposed to tell you what's true or not, though. It's just a
I know,
fucking satire movie.
I know
90% of the movie was based on a lie. So, like, what the fuck
that's
did you expect?
that's what I'm trying to explain. I know the point that he was making, but for me personally, the con was I couldn't tell what was based on something true.
If anything, I think that just makes it like gives 10 times more props to the writing that they were able to hide such good satire that you couldn't
Well,
tell it was real or not.
I disagree because going into like after this movie, not knowing if what was real, I could have like you could think this entire movie is 100% fake. Not a single thing happened. Nothing was based off of anything true. Like I could just think this was just like purely fictional, non-fictional.
You don't learn a
98% of
lot
it
about
was
him. You
purely
don't learn a lot
fictional.
about him from it.
I know that y'all are backing up exactly what I'm saying. That's my con.
Yeah,
But what
I'm
I'm
with
saying
you.
is,
I
I don't
never
think
said I
it's
was
a
against you.
con.
I'm with you.
I agree with what you're saying, but I just don't see it as a con. I just see it as like, okay, that's just not what the movie was about. So why are you going to knock it for what it's not about?
I just
It
would have.
is. That's literally what it's
Like,
about, though. It's an
It is.
autobiography.
but it's clearly not an autobiography. Plus,
It
it's Weird
literally
Al.
is.
Did you really expect anything more or less?
I just would have appreciated more guidance, and you know what I mean.
I
Anthony
agree.
wanted a didn't actually happen above all the fake scenes.
Dude,
No, I
it
don't
could have
mind
been
it.
like it could have been subtle. You know what I mean? I just like
I don't
It
think it
was
needed
a
it. I think that would have taken away from the story. I think the movie itself set out what it or did what it was wanted to do, and was make a satirical autobiography about his life.
but how
I
do you
agree,
know it's
but
an
the
autobiography?
that's what. Yeah, that's
the
his point.
best
That's what
part
I'm saying.
the best part about satire is when you can't tell if it's like you can tell it's a joke, but you can't tell how much of it is a joke. That's how you know it's good satire.
Yes, he's saying it's good satire, but he's saying how is it an autobiography if you can't tell what's real or not? Like if you
Does
can't
it's a
differentiate what Weird Al's life actually was like, because like I'm sure
okay,
some
but
people are going into the movie saying, "Oh, I want to learn more about Weird Al," like, and he has an
Right.
autobiography. That's cool. But when you go in and see the exaggerated shit that he does, you're just like leaving,
Which
basically saying like, "Okay, I know that wasn't real. I know that wasn't real. Was this real? Was that real?" More subtle
okay,
things.
but let me. I know Noah's completely right. I will say I know we're only doing cons right now, but just to clear it up, one of my pros is the satire and the way that they did it. You know, it's just like
Yeah,
I
I
like
thought it was
that.
original.
I appreciated it. I just also would have appreciated more direction as well.
well,
The combination,
I
but
think it's a pro that you were able to tell the difference. I don't think it's a con. I think it
agree to
makes us
disagree.
okay. We'll agree to disagree.
It's agreed to a certain extent,
Right.
but I also said or I guess my other con was I just don't think all the jokes hit. It's really zany, and after a while, I mean, obviously, like every now and then the jokes will hit, but after a while, I just kind of was like, yeah,
I think the part that didn't hit as hard was the part with Pablo Escobar at the very end. That whole shit, I was
Yeah.
like, all right. I was like, all right, this is funny, but this is way too much, bro.
Yeah.
literally came out of nowhere. I was telling Edward earlier that do you think it's parody? And Radcliffe is a really good actor. Okay, I'm not taking anything away from him. I'm sure he was picked because he's a good actor and he's got he's also good. He's a pretty good comedy actor.
Uh-huh.
Um, I was saying, do you think Weird Al picked him also as a joke because he's so short and Weird Al's so tall?
It's possible.
It's
He
probably not true, but I think that'd be funny.
that would be funny. Yeah. He's my height.
That's what I'm saying. I think that'd be funny, but I kind of want to assume everything in the thing was parody. But that's all I got for cons. If any of y'all have anything else,
I have one more con, and it
okay.
was just the whole Pablo Escobar thing.
Yeah.
Again, it was funny, and I enjoyed watching it. It was like, haha, but I think it would have been better if he didn't exaggerate that much. Like he could have stayed on his like somewhat life path. You know what I mean? I feel like that was a little bit too out there.
What happens when he actually met Pablo Escobar in real life and no one, he just never said anything about it?
It's true.
But if that was the only true part about the movie.
He met him, and his what he showed in the movie is what he wanted to do to him after he found out who he was. Pablo, what are you doing here?
Also, what the fuck is up with movies and making Pablo Escobar this fucking person who just loves comedians?
That's what I'm saying. True.
Maybe he does.
Yeah, maybe he does.
Government's not telling us something that they're telling filmmakers.
The more you know. Anyways. Yeah. All right, guys, you want to dive into pros?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, Edward, you go first because you didn't really have any cons.
Bitch. I did have a con. Anthony just reset my con.
Just being real. Onward and upward.
All right. I gotta say, unlike movies like these, I always think it's super impressive how well the actors are able to lip sync to the original songs and stuff that they're putting on here. Yeah. Like 90% of that was Daniel Radcliffe lip syncing, and he did a really, really good job at it. And I like, it's not something a lot of people talk about, but it's one of those things where it's really fucking hard to do. Like really, really hard, especially when it's like not your own music.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, that's a really good pro because you can never tell. You couldn't tell. Like it seemed like he was actually singing it.
I'm sure there was at least one or two where he was actually singing, but other than that, he was lip syncing.
Right.
Which pretty solid. Not gonna lie. I think I really liked how they transitioned to the songs he wrote. My favorite one. My favorite one was whenever he went to make an original song, and they're like, "Oh, Michael Jackson just stole your song from you."
The whole thing was funny. I love that.
He's like, "No, this is absolutely original."
Who the fuck is he to do that? What kind of sick fuck does that?
And then they acted like Michael Jackson was nothing.
They're like, "Come on, put your jacket on, bro." He's like, "No, I don't want to wear that shit. It's a Michael Jackson jacket now."
Yeah. That was funny.
Dude, that was the funniest fucking shit.
Stuff like that. And they hit pretty much they hit almost every one of his parody songs, like the most popular ones. In a unique way, the way he transitioned to it. Like even like Amish Paradise was top tier. That was my favorite one.
Dude, I didn't realize that the animated Captain Underpants movie, the theme song was written by Weird Al.
That makes a lot of sense.
That's crazy.
I'm kind of not surprised. And even though this was all satire, I like that they actually paid homage to him in the credits.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was cool. I think seeing like his actual like child photos on there made that child actor that they got like the perfect fit for it.
Oh yeah, I agree.
I also appreciate that he was the one to introduce the movie. He was like, "I'm Weird Al. Like, y'all enjoy this movie." It really shows that he like just approves of it and was like a part of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I also think this movie was really like this movie. If I had to put like a comparison, I don't know if y'all seen Pop Star Never Stopping. That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah,
I like Pop Star a lot. I thought the movie was so funny, and it just feels real innovative to the movie industry. We're like, especially because he's making fun of autobiographies too. Like he literally has so many tropes about it. Like, one of the ones that was funny was they're talking about an accordion, and then the parents were like, "No, that thing is the devil. Like, don't do that stuff. Like,
Bro, I think the thing that immediately I was like, "Oh, this isn't a fucking serious movie," was whenever his parents were like, "You're,
I know you're
stop being yourself. Don't do the things you love."
Yes. I was
like, bro, what the fuck?
Okay. I was like, okay.
I heard that and I was like, no, wait a minute. And then like, right after that, when his dad started beating the fuck out of the accordion salesman, I was like, all right, no, this ain't fucking for real.
He's like, or stop like doing everything that makes you unique.
He's like, you can't do that in life. you got to work at the factory. What do we even make at the factory?
Yeah.
Your dad
He
always
still
said you
never
were funny.
learned. He still never learned.
I like the part when in high school when he goes to that party and it's a polka party and
Polka
he's like,
party.
guys, I shouldn't be here, guys. My parents would kill me.
Like, come on, Al, you're fine.
And then the cops bring him home and they were like, "We found your son at a polka party."
Just dead serious. Playing
He's
the
like,
accordion.
dude,
Oh yeah.
no
the
no one
accordion.
wants to talk about how the mom also pointed at him and was like, "There's no way you have him. He's in his room."
Yeah. Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
boy, really?
I hate that.
Or
Yeah.
the whole trope about how these kind of movies will like show like their breakout song or something and then they'll get famous overnight and then you're like, you can't just get
Oh
famous
yeah.
overnight.
Literally, not even overnight. Like within minutes.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Like,
oh,
yeah,
I just received this song a couple minutes ago, and it's already the number one requested song on the radio.
it's like it's the number one most requested song in the past week. Weird
Yeah.
Al Yankovic. It's like, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah, it was definitely some funny parts.
this isn't like a trope, but I thought the part was funny whenever they were like, oh yeah, we're gonna sign you into like a 14 album record deal right now. And he's like, oh, for real?
He's like, fuck no. You ain't shit. You ain't ever gonna be shit. Get the fuck out of here for wasting my time.
Then he was like, oh, but I know this guy. Oh shoot, that changes everything, dog. Get me up. Like
Yeah.
and
I
then
think,
go ahead,
go ahead.
sorry. You go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I just enjoy how unique the movie is. It's so different from just like an auto pick. You know what I mean? It's just like it's
For
just
sure.
so different and unique, and I love it.
It makes me
Yes, sir.
makes me want him to do more movies that aren't like
Yeah.
about him.
Me too.
Like honestly, I'd watch him. Too bad he passed away.
We're hiring him to write our.
Oh, it's at the end credit scene. It was like, oh, sadly, Weird Al was assassinated in 1998 or something like that. I'm like, I'm like,
Madonna's still at large.
I feel like that threw me off a little bit because I was just like, I don't know. What
I
are
think
people
it's
going?
funny that he killed himself off in his own fucking movie.
I'll tell you this. Not gonna say names. Poor person, but somebody had posted like at the end of the movie. They were like, "I forgot he died, bro. That's so sad. Rip."
Dude, that's what I'm saying. I feel like that was a little too far too, because like people will believe that
Oh, too
because it seemed like
good.
it was like half the credit. You know what I mean?
Okay, but how are you gonna believe that when he introduced the
I
movie?
was about to
Oh, you're
say,
right,
bro.
you're right. Yeah, you're right. But still, I don't know.
No, dude, it takes a special type of person to actually believe that shit.
I don't know.
I feel for him though. I feel for him.
I feel like I would have
Not
believed it
making
if I
fun of him.
didn't already know he was alive. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You've already
that's also
How do you
fair.
know?
gullible ant.
Was he cool on Hot
You
Ones?
believe that I cut my left foot off
He
yesterday.
was. I loved him on Hot Ones.
Goated.
It's cool.
Goated
That's all
with
I
the
got though.
sauce.
That's all I got. It was a
Me as
satisfying,
well.
surprising movie.
Me too.
No, it was one that really came out of left field.
That's what I'm saying. Good choice, Anthony.
All right.
We had 3 choices to pick from. Anthony picked this one.
Oh yeah.
Solid choice.
All right, ratings. Where do we stand? While y'all think, I have to get my stuff out.
I'm gonna give it a 9.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
I was thinking. Oh, you say it. You say it. No.
Me? Like my rating?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
Okay. See, I was coming in. I was like, yeah, 9. I think I would give it a 9 if it wasn't for my 2 main like cons.
Bro.
The main point of like
I agree.
the whole
Anthony.
Pablo Escobar thing, I think that threw me off too much. But I'm gonna give it an 8.
I also don't think I'd watch this again unless it's with friends.
Yeah.
I can't judge movies like that because I hate rewatching movies. It doesn't matter what movie it is. I hate rewatching them. I think once I know what happens all the way through, it just ruins the fun for me.
Yeah.
Depends on the movie. I love rewatching movies if it's a real good movie.
The only movie I've rewatched is The Benchwarmers and The Sandlot.
And those are hilarious. Okay, but see, The Sandlot's a classic though. Like you have to rewatch that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You just have to.
I'm bumping. I was also thinking about 7.5 Noah, but I'm bumping it up only because of like the creativity.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
But
Love the ratings. Love them. Gonna be a little bit divisive this week, but I'm sure people will see it and be like, "What's Weird Al Yankovic the Yankovic story? What is that?" I hope more people watch it though. I really do. It's something special.
Yeah. And speaking of something special, before you guys sign out, check out our merch store, merch.streamelements.com/the Hooligan Hangout. Cop yourself a nice little hat like I got. Cop yourself, well, that hoodie doesn't exist anymore, but get yourself stuff before it doesn't exist anymore, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure to check all those juicy links down below. Check out our YouTube channel where you'll be able to see a little bit more of us. And as always, say hi to your moms for us.